It's your boy Deezy, SVGBTV. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Like this video. Share this video. You view the content, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the content. Vlad and 1090J. Now, Vlad has some good content, and you can't deny that. He gives you the opportunity to put your story out there. Now, if you still in the streets, Vlad is not a good outlet for you to go to. But people that are still in the street or know that they've committed some crimes that haven't been solved, they want to go to Vlad's platform and tell on themselves. You can't get mad at Vlad for airing something that you wanted to go promote on his show. Just straight up. And when I say, people say Vlad is the police, Vlad to get you indicted, people are taking it upon themselves to go on there and tell on themselves. This is the same thing that's happening with everybody that goes on there knowing that they're still in the street or have committed a crime that hasn't been solved. You want that attention. You can't blame Vlad for being a journalist. You can't blame the journalist for putting the information out there. We all know that if you're still in the street, you need not to be promoting it. But I guess some people think that it'll get overlooked. So when people get mad at Vlad and say that he's the police and his platform is sending people to jail, and I look at it like that's a self-decision. He gives you the opportunity to get exposure. He has 5 million followers. So if he's giving you the opportunity to get exposure, you should be exposing yourself in a way that you can promote yourself. Take advantage of the situation to benefit you, not to destroy you. And that comes to the person that's going on the show. You need to think. You got to be wise about what you speak about. If you know you're still in the street, that might not be the platform for you to go on. That might not be where you need to share your story at. And honestly, if you're in the street and you know that you plan on being in the street, no internet platform is where you should go share your story at. Your story is not internet ready. So you can't blame the people that have a job in a platform that they've been created and say that it's their fault. They're taking advantage of the situation that's put in front of them. 1090J, he's covering stories of the people that ratted. Now, we all know and see that it don't matter if you rat. People still going to deal with you. So, what's the big deal? Is it that people want to sell an image to people to keep them in a negative light when they know that they couldn't stand up for the situations they've been in? All they doing is putting the information out there. Anybody can get the paperwork. But he just has a big following, whereas though he can get the information out to more people. But people don't really care. People still gonna hang out with you if you got that money. That's already been proven. No matter who you told on now, people still gonna look at it as you got that money. It's okay. And people look at them like they culture vultures. This was drawing the most attention. They put black people in the spotlight, in a negative spotlight, and these guys just took advantage of the situation. When black people could take advantage of the situation as well. But you know why black people don't take advantage of the situation? Is because they know if you start talking about certain people ratting, they pick and choose who they want to talk about ratting. Black people do that. 1090 Jake is not picking and choosing at all. Black people pick and choose who they want to talk about is ratting because they're still in the hood. And a rat can kill you too. A rat will kill you quick. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. He said, you a rat, I ain't fucking with you. And the nigga killed him. He was in the hood. 1090 Jake is not going to be chilling in the hood. His days in the hood are over. But us as black people, we feel that we still got to represent the hood. When the hood is going to be the first person, the first people that take you out. Ain't no love in the hood. They don't care nothing about you when the attitudes start flying. We don't want to remove ourselves from them situations. 1090 Jake and Vlad, they're not going to be chilling in the hood. So they're able to do these interviews that some podcasts won't do. And maybe they can cut some of the things out that might get people in situations. But you got to know, don't put yourself in that situation. That comes to the accountability that you have to take for yourself. Knowing that this can cost you. Everybody's not going to hold your hand. Everybody's not going to lead you in the direction that you need to be led in. Good brothers Gilly and Wallow, they're the type of brothers that know that some guys don't want to watch what they say, and they get on there and say everything. And so they got a different experience than Vlad. Their experience is different. They know they got to hold some guy's hands. Vlad's not looking at it like that. He's looking at it as, this is my business. You come and do an interview with me, I'm going to put it out there. So the people that go on them shows, they got to understand that. You got to understand that if you don't watch what you say, you're going to self-snitch on yourself. You got to watch what you say, literally. And it's like some people get on there and just be straight careless. It's like, don't you know that everybody's watching these shows? Do you care? Do you care that everybody's watching these shows, or you just want to think you want to boast about some negative stuff you did and then blame it on somebody else when you put yourself in a situation? They both give up some good content. It's a few podcasts that give up some great content. They know how to do what they do. But Vlad and 1090 Jake, you got to give it to them. They give up good content. They know what to put out there. 1090 Jake knows that when you put the paperwork out of the people that portray to be so gangster, it's going to make everybody look at him different. The people that surround him, they not going to stop dealing with him because they feeding them. They got to eat. And it's a financial war out here. It's a financial war out here. So those people that are in the circles with the rats, they not going to stop dealing with the rats because then they going to starve. You see what happened when they put a QCP paperwork out there. People ain't stopped dealing with him. Not too many people talked about him. But when you get bigger in life, and even if you are on a lower, bigger level, you are in the eye of trouble. So when you're in the eye of trouble, if you can't handle when that pressure come, you gonna crack. And most will crack. Most don't want to go sit down and be away from their family and have to feel that. Not everybody can handle that. Just because you might be good at being in the streets don't mean that you good at going to jail and doing time. So when he's exposing these people, he's just putting it out there that this is what you in for. He's really helping the people out that's around these people. But it doesn't seem to help them because they're still ready to commit crimes and violence around these people, knowing that they told before. So if you think about it, the people that are in position making the money, if they ratted before and now they're in a great position of life when they're influencing the people around them to go out here and lay something down, or I have somebody pop you and all that, you don't think they're going to rat on you? You don't think they're going to say, it was such and such over there? It was him? Because they don't want to lose what they got going on. They don't want to lead the women. They don't want to lead the cars. They don't want to lead the everyday excitement to do what they want to do. But they promote that they're going to pop something. And all 1090 Jake doing is putting it out there, letting you know that this is a lie and a facade what they live in. He just putting the information out there. You can't be mad at the man for that. You can't be mad at Vlad for putting them good interviews out. You got to respect it. They found their niche and they became good at it. You can do the same thing if that's what you want to do. Instead of being upset at them, look at what they doing and create your lane. Create what's for you. But nah, people rather critique the situation and talk negative about it instead of figuring out how can they build their own brand. Everybody's selling hope. Everybody's selling hope. You got to figure out how to sell hope. That's the key. The key is to figure out how to sell hope. Whoever sells hope the best lives the best. The ones that are spectating seem to be the strugglers. Spectators are the ones trying to figure out, how can I get it together? You got to do less spectating and more action. I don't think they culture vultures. I just see they found a lane and they dug in it, which any of us have the ability to do. But a lot of people want to smoke weed and drink. Smoking weed and drinking is not for everybody. That's not the lane everybody should be in. Some people got to cut those things out to find their avenue. If you can't find your avenue, that means you ain't doing something right. You're not taking the time that you got on this earth and using it wisely. Sometimes you got to go outside the norm. Did nobody think 1090 was going to know how to get that paperwork? And this is something you can do in every state. You can go in every state and get documents on people. Any celebrity, any rapper, you can find out their government name and do research on them. But a lot of people don't want to be entrepreneurs. They want to tell other people that have the ambition and motivation to be entrepreneurs what they're doing wrong at their achievements. Find out what you need to do in your lane and achieve it. You got to take your hat off to them. If they was white or if they was black, I just think black people don't have the ability to do what they doing because they still want to be in the hood. You can't do what they doing and sit on nobody's block. It's not going to happen. You can't go talk about everybody that's telling and go hang on the block. Your survival will be short. You got to be a person that's dedicated to doing that. And from what you see, they dedicated to doing that. They doing interviews. They getting good interviews. From all aspects of life, though. Vlad's getting interviews from all aspects of life, man. I seen him had a guy on there talking about UFOs. He got guys talking on there about real estate. Guys talking about street stuff. He has good interviews. And people on there are telling their stories. You got to look at the interviews for what you want to look at them for and take it how you want to look it for. But you got to know that people are looking at the interviews. They got a team of people that look at the interviews. That's their job. Check all the interviews out. So if you know you in the street, you shouldn't be doing no interview. It came a time that street guys wouldn't dare be on the internet. But now, they want to be in the street and tell the story. It was an old saying that the game is to be sold, not to be told. Now I guess it's to be told. So You can't be mad at them, man. You got to look at it like 1090 Jake is just putting that valuable information out there. Letting you know that the streets will kill you. If it's because you got a rat, you get shot, you put yourself in that situation. That's all the streets is going to do. Ain't nobody lasting in the streets. Same thing with the interviews that Vlad do. It's letting you see that they got guys that was in the street killing stuff, in there moving work in the streets, and what they get, 20, 30 years. People that done ratted, they on there because they done did a lot of shit in the streets and did 20, 30 years and ratted. They letting you know what to stay away from on some real shit. But a lot of people still think they can beat the system. You can't be out there in the mix and talk about it and think you're going to beat the system. That's what they providing you to understand that you got to choose. Either you're going to be in the street or you not. But you can't do both. So when you see people that are out there in the streets and then they want to talk about it, they always lose. It comes a time when you got to look at life and have a change of thought. You got to grow. And a lot of people don't know how to grow. So if they go on them shows and they haven't grown, they still want to live in that past time. Like they say, J-Bo. I don't know if it's true or not, but I seen somebody post something saying about J-Bo got picked up by the feds again. He was on Vlad's show talking. If you know you out there doing any PPPs or any of that kind of stuff, you can't go online talking like you living right. If you know you ain't living right, don't go online talking like you out there living right. You can't go on the internet one day and then wake up the next day, you in the mix. You can't jump back and forth over those fences like that because you're going to get caught in the barbed wire. You got to know when enough is enough. And that barbed wire cuts you deep. You got to understand that it's not going to work. So with those right there, Vlad and 1090 Jake, they ain't doing nothing that anybody else can't do. Is do you want to put that time and that work in to do what they doing? You can do it. Because in every city, there's rats. In every city, there's people that can be interviewed. That's people that's been on that level, that done got out of prison, done 10, 20 years. In every city, multiple people. So if that's something that you wanted to do, if you want to go from city to city and get information on the rats, you can do that. If you want to go city to city and do interviews with people that done did 10, 20, 30 years in jail, you can do that. But that got to be something you want to do. They chose to go in the lane that they wanted to go in, and they became successful at it. But when people don't understand how to get off their couch and how to get on their grind, They always want to find a way to look down on somebody else. They always want to make an excuse why this person is doing this, and by them doing this, they're the police. Or if Vlad was the police, right? Why ain't nobody produced no paperwork on him yet? That's where I'm at with it. If he was the police, why hasn't nobody produced paperwork on him? But the people that I seen 1090 Jake produce paperwork on, people still fucking with him. You'll see the paperwork clear as day. And people still ride in the car with him because they got some chicken. But Vlad, you ain't seen no paperwork on him. But people that know that they in the street will go up there and do an interview and tell everything, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, and then say, Vlad's the police. No, you wanted exposure. That person wanted that type of exposure so that the world can recognize who they are for what they've done. That's what they was looking for. That's a form of a high. They wanted that high that everybody can say, look what I did. Look at me. And when it don't turn out the way people think it should turn out, where people glorifying them, the first thing they say is, Vlad's the police. I keep seeing it. I'm like, okay. This man told everything about himself, told everything he did, who he was with, where he was at, how much shit he had, all this shit, right? The people watched the video. He got locked the fuck up, and they said it was Vlad's fault. Man, it ain't no grown man's responsibility to monitor and censor what you want to say. You got to make that decision yourself. Know that if I put myself in this situation, am I ready for this? Is this what I really want? If I go and say, I did this and I did that, am I ready for what comes with that? Am I ready to man up to this? Because that's basically what they saying. They ready to man up. If you ready to tell it all, you ready to man up. Did you see if the statute of limitations was up? Did you check on that? Because a lot of people that go into detail about things they've been through, they have no knowledge of the law. Nothing. It's like, maybe you should look into the law before you go into detail about things you've done. So because they are who they are, they're supposed to say, we need to monitor what you do so that you don't play yourself. Everybody knows this already, though. Everybody knows that if you put yourself in that situation, you can go to jail for what you said. They know they tap the phones. They'll bug your car, bug your house, bug your friends' phones, get your friends to tell on you. But if you make it your business to go sit down and tell on yourself, you can't say that somebody else is the police, man. You can't even say that. You can't even say it's their fault. That's a self-inflicted wound. That ain't nobody else's fault. 1090 Jake putting the paperwork out on people. What's wrong with it? They still gonna deal with the people anyway. It's just warning some other people that don't know, man, they hot. They ain't right. They out here talking about how they get down and do this and how they get down and do this. And when I see him putting the paperwork out, and then people that deny it, he'll put the video, stamped court documents, and people will still deny it like they didn't do it. Come on, man. And it seems like the industry will put a rat on quick. Maybe because they know that they going to get paid off them and then they can throw their own self away. Maybe that could be. Because the rat get on quick. The industry might know, hey, listen, we're going to get paid. And then they're going to throw their own self away. Once this information come out, they're going to throw their own self away. 1090 Jake know how to go right online, plug your shit in, request the documents, and then air you out. Now your paperwork's out there. But your homies that rock with you, they still gonna deal with you. They still need you. You got the bag. Now when the bag run out, then they might start saying you a rat. People support the rats. They support them because the rat got the money. The rat will come home, go to jail, come home, and people will still hang out with him. And you know what they say? He ain't tell on me. He ain't tell on me. That's the first line. Until they tell on you, then they like, he's a rat. I don't fuck with him, he a rat. But people willing to try it if they ain't get told on. They willing to put everything on the line. And it's like the rats will go, rat, come out, put the strap on them, walk around, talk about how they ready to bust something in the streets. And then I see they'll have somebody with them, put them on a mission, and then rat on them. And now, the whole time everybody was saying this person was a rat, paperwork's out, everybody sees the paperwork. Nobody wanted to feel it until they in that situation. So you can't be mad at 1090 Jake for exposing the situation. Vlad just let the rats on the show. Vlad is, he like, man, listen, hey, man, I'm not in the streets. I'm going to let the rat come tell his story. When you ain't in the streets, you could do that. I'm going to let the rat go ahead and tell his story. 1090 Jake is exposing the rat. Vlad going to let the rat come on there and tell his story. They found their lane. You can't get mad at them for finding their lane. Everybody out here is trying to find their lane. It's a financial war out here. It's a financial war out here, man. You got to find your lane. If you don't find your lane, you might be in the middle of the ocean with no life jacket. It's a whole bunch of people out there, man. Everybody's wishing and hoping to find that stability. The people that sell the hope the best, they live the best. Take heed to that. You got to learn how to sell hope. When you learn how to sell hope, you're going to make it a long way. If you live inside the norm, you're going to struggle. The norm is designed for you to struggle. The norm is not designed for you to get ahead. You be selling yourself hope. It be a group of people amongst each other selling each other hope. That's what the design is for. Ain't nobody getting up, living inside the norm. It's impossible because all of the things that they create, they constantly create new things for you to spend your money on. So that's why it's always going to be hard for you to get up. The holidays, the birthdays, the things they create, the commercials that they put out that make you want to go spend your money. The norm is going to keep you stuck in the design living a life that you can't get out of. It's people that are up in age and don't even understand what it is to buy a house. So when you see people that find their niche, you can't be mad at them. You got to find your niche. Live outside of the norm. If you live inside the structure that was created for us, it's going to be hard for you to get ahead. People don't really want to hear it, but it's the truth. The design is going to keep you behind. These guys found an avenue to shoot through. And there's plenty of people that find that avenue. But you got to find that avenue. You got to see what's for you. You can't just say because they're doing this that they're culture vultures. You can go create that same lane. It's plenty of people in your hood that's ratting. It's plenty of people in your hood that you can go interview. It's plenty of people that you can create this same avenue with. But not everybody wants to be that entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to take on that responsibility to do their own thing. It's easier for you to get up and somebody to tell you what time to come and leave. It's harder for you to create your own function. That takes a serious process of dedication. And if you got the ability to do something, you got the ability to do it. Anybody can create their lane. We all have that opportunity. It's just they took advantage of it. They see what's going on. That's why Vlad's interviewing people that's telling the story of the streets. But some people don't understand. Don't take yourself on there if you still involved in the street. You can't get mad at that man for that. You can't say it's his fault. How is that his fault? Because you knew you were still involved in the street and you wanted to go on there and talk about how you did this and how you did that in the street. How is that somebody else's fault? Somebody produced paperwork on Vlad. They can't. Because if it was true, he got 5 million followers. The paperwork would have been out there. Now he's just doing interviews and people going up there lining their own self up. Straight goofy shit. The game used to be sold, not told. Now, people ratting on themselves and blaming it on others, man. That's all they doing, man. Man, they ratting on themselves and blaming it on others. You can't blame that on nobody else because you want to rat on yourself. You can't expect nobody to take responsibility when you ratting on yourself. Come on now. And then when you out here living a lie like you a gangster, when you really an informant, you can't take it as it's somebody else's fault that they exposed you. It's good they exposed you. So at least You get the people around you the opportunity, if they want to be dummies, to stay around you, but at least they know. I respect them. I respect both of them. I like both of their platforms, man. I think people that don't got the ability to get up off their ass and do anything, they not gonna like them. Or they mad because they up. Black people are gonna always do what they do. This world is not gonna change because they, as white people, doing what they doing. It's not gonna change. The world is designed the way it's designed. People are gonna commit crimes, do what they doing regardless. White or black. It just seems more interesting when black people are destructing. The white guy the other day went and shot up and killed 18 people and shot a few more. Plenty of people got injured. But they not even publicizing that as if it's that serious. They talked about it. He killed himself and it's over. You see this shit? So it's more entertaining to cover black people destructing. So why won't they take the lane? It's more entertaining for that. Black people got the same opportunity. They just want to run their mouth. They don't want to take the action. Create your lane. Create your channel. Create something for you. You got to do that. You got the opportunity as well as anybody else. Everybody got the opportunity. But if you don't take a chance and take the risk, that's your fault. Everybody got the chance to take the risk. Everybody got the chance. But are you willing to? It's benefits in a lot of things. But a lot of people want to just move when somebody else tell them to move. Some people don't see that beneficial for them. They want to live outside of the norm. If you live outside of the norm, you got a chance to go further. If you live inside of the norm, you only have a cap on your life. Your life is capped. It's capped inside of the living that you choose to live in. You don't have a big, broad horizon of what you can do if you live inside the norm. If you step outside of the norm, then your shit expands. That just go to work at 9, get off at 5, or go to work at 8, get off at 4, and then I pay my bills and spend all my money at the store. That's what you're going to live until you die. Until you can't work no more, then you need a check. Find your avenue. These avenues that people are doing, everybody can do them. Everybody has the ability. But a lot of people don't want to take that route. You can't be scared to fail. That's one thing, you can't be scared to fail. Because not everybody's going to make it at everything. You got to keep trying things until you hit your spot. When you hit your spot, you'll know, okay, I like this. This is something that I want to involve myself in. But you got to try to know that. And if you plan on just going to work for somebody at a certain time of day and getting off at a certain time of day, you're not going to find it. It's impossible. The structure is designed to keep you in the cycle. It's like the washing machine. You just keep spinning. You just keep spinning. That's all you do. But you got the capability though. So you can't be mad at them for finding the lane that everybody want to see. Everybody want to see drama. Putting somebody's paperwork out there, an interview about people talking about things they did. That's drama stuff. People want to see that. If you giving some educational stuff, people don't want to see that. That ain't what they want to see. They don't want to see something educational. That's boring. Because enhancing your brain is boring. But keeping it stimulated is exciting. Enhancing your brain is boring. But keeping it stimulated is exciting. People love that. Hey, man. I take my hat off to anybody that's out there pushing to do their own thing, man. Real stuff. My hat's off to anybody out there pushing to do their own thing. I ain't got nothing against them. It's all respect. I'm coming, though. Trust me. I'm coming. I smell it. And all I'm bringing is the truth, fire, real talk. Leave a comment on this video, man. Share this video. Hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 800 subscribers. I'm coming from the bottom. It's your boy DZ, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now.